Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is the most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in.
So it's 24 hours to a day. So they tell you you're supposed to sleep what?
8 hours.
And so now you got how many left?
16.
And then you're supposed to work what?
8 hours.
And now you got what left?
8 hours.
You haven't cooked. You haven't got dressed. You haven't said hello to the children. You know, sleep deprivation. That's how they get you. Sleep deprivation. That's why the rich folks, you better not try to call their house after 8 o'clock at night. They sleep. You work midnight, what they call the midnight shift?
Graveyard shift.
What graveyard mean what?
Death.
Death, okay, death. Why? 90 minutes after the sun go down, your brain get recharged. After midnight, the charging stops. If you're not home by midnight, you turn into a what? Pumpkin?
The pumpkin.
What's the only part of your body look like a pumpkin? So it's 24 hours to a day. So they tell you you're supposed to sleep.
What else we supposed to do? We trapped in the Matrix.
Handful of people know how useful this stuff is. These are liquid metals. You take a block of iron and put it on a cheese grater and put in some oil, you get that. It was made by NASA to move fuel around in rockets when gravity is a problem, and then they accidentally made venom. For real though, this stuff is really cool. Important thing to note, it reacts to magnetic fields in this way because it's very fine. We can see details of the magnetic field, which makes it really cool for cymatics too. If you put a magnetized rod in the middle of the cymatics dish, then the ferrofluid will react with the magnetic field the speaker's using to move the speaker. But it's also how UFOs work. The concept is called magnetohydrodynamics. The government's been tinkering around with this since the 50s. If you want the specifics, that video on YouTube is excellent. But basically, when you have a rotating liquid metal, so a spinning liquid metal around usually a solid core creates electrical discharge. This is how the Earth creates its magnetic field as well. Kind of similar to how tokamaks do fusion, except they're using a plasma instead of a liquid metal. Those siphon the fusion energy for power. So the fusion reactor uses magnetic fields to generate electricity. This uses electricity to generate an opposing magnetic field to the Earth's magnetic field. This guy is doing it with a beaker stir that you would have in chemistry. I do not have the original video for this. This was sent to me. I don't know the original poster if you're wondering, but you can see here he puts a hoop over it to demonstrate that there is no string above it.
You know that the Knights Templars had one of the largest fleets in the world? Did you know that one of their symbols is the skull and bones? Did you know that on every grave of the Knights Templars in Europe is the skull and bones? Did you know that when the Templars were destroyed by the Pope and the King of France, the entire fleet escaped and became the pirates? Didn't you ever wonder why the pirates were called the Brotherhood? Didn't you ever wonder why they could all sail into the same port and never fight against each other? Didn't you ever wonder where the Templars' fleet went? Didn't you ever wonder where the skull and crossbones came from? Didn't you ever wonder why the Russell Trust at Yale University is called the Skull and Bones? George Bush is a member. He's a Knights Templar. And many other great men who have occupied high positions of this government. Their goal is revenge for the persecution of men of intellect and science throughout the Middle and Dark Ages by the church, by the kings and queens, by the governments, and by the ignorant mob. That's why they want to destroy all existing governments, destroy all existing religions, and put the shackles on the mob. Did you know that the Knights Templars had one of the largest...
The Brotherhood. What were they really up to? For entertainment purposes only, don't believe anything you hear or see on this video. If you thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today, think again. Feast your eyes on this extraordinary piece. Elbate and quartz. Oh my goodness. If I had to name this, I would name this lipstick. You know, doesn't it look like chapstick or something? Like a lipstick? It looks like more like lipstick. Like a Jolly Rancher lipstick. That would be my name. Jolly Rancher lipstick. What would your name be for this excellent specimen?
The House on Fire ruins in Mule Canyon, Utah, is an ancient ancestral Puebloan site known for its unique appearance. The cliff dwelling's rock formations resemble flames when illuminated by sunlight, creating a mesmerizing and iconic visual effect for visitors and photographers. The House on Fire ruins in
does look like it's on fire, doesn't it?
Tell you, it was just taken out of the periodic table.
Why did they erase the ether? No, really. Ask yourself, why did this ancient concept, this infinite, invisible ocean of energy, suddenly vanish from science? Once upon a time, ether wasn't just theory. It was the primordial god of light, the upper sky, the breath of the gods themselves. The ancients knew it. They encoded it in myth, but by 1908, it was wiped clean, replaced with scarcity. Do you ever hear about the first electric cars? Not the ones you see today. I'm talking about the ones that disappeared from history, the ones rumored to pull free energy straight from the atmosphere. Yeah, they were using metals like copper, gold, magnets, even whispers of red mercury, devices designed to tame the ether itself. No wires, no fossil fuels, just endless natural power all around us. So why did they disappear? Same reason ether did. Same reason we've been told the only way forward is through oil, gas, and a monthly electric bill. Because the moment you realize there's infinite energy above your head is the moment you stop being dependent on them.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
It was just taken out of the period.
If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. And I'd love to see you tomorrow. So let's get straight back into the action.
Closely at this photo. This alleged spark plug structure was found encased in a rock over 500,000 years old. On February 13, 1961, 3 people were searching for geodes to sell in their gift shop. They searched in Olancha, California. One of the geodes was cut open, and they found a metal and ceramic cylinder inside. This finding has puzzled researchers, as the concretion is estimated to be at least 500,000 years old, while spark plugs were invented in the 19th century. An X-ray clearly showed the metal pin, with a spring or helix at one end. The other half of the object showed metal covering the porcelain-like cylinder. The artifact is now on display at the Pacific Science Center in Seattle, Washington. No one can clearly explain how the spark plug got into such an ancient geode, so the artifacts still interest many people who believe in lost knowledge or alternative history. Look closely at this photo.
How disturbing. They had spark plugs for spacecrafts probably back in the day, and we just found one.
Do you know that at the atomic level we cannot touch anything? Each atom has a nucleus in its center, and around this nucleus, there is an invisible field in which electrons move. When 2 objects' atoms come close to each other, these fields push each other, which gives us the sensation of touch. But in reality, it's not touch, but a repellent force between the 2 atoms. Do you know that at the atomic level we cannot...
So what you're saying is we never really actually touch anything. Interesting.
Did you see Katy Perry went to space? Well, sure she did. We'll take a closer look, though, and if you don't know why I said Katy Perry, stick around. I'll let you know. First, there's just no easy way to say this. If you think this is a real rocket and it just happens to look like that and they're not mocking how dumb they think we are, well, it's time to figure it out. And second, if you think this is a real rocket with real rocket fuel and rocket flames, and this is real and not just literal graphics, I'm pretty sure my Super Mario back when I was 10 had better graphics than this. I mean, just look, guys. It's not real. It's legitimately not real. But this is what I want to show you more than anything in this video, is her little space patch. Yeah, that one. Do you notice anything about it? Because I did. How about now? Do you notice anything now? Oh no, not yet? How about now? Yeah, that's right. Her upside down space patch looks exactly like Baphomet, a Church of Satan deity that all of these people like to worship. And this is right from Google. You can see how Baphomet is associated with evil because it stems from its depiction as a demonic figure and its use as a satanic symbol, particularly in the Church of Satan. Yeah, do you really think that's just an unintentional design? I mean, that's a pretty specific design right there. And I'm sure she just accidentally hit that exact pose on her way down from the spaceship. Oh, and if you don't know why I said Katy Perry like that, it's because I did a video once showing how Katy Perry is actually Jean-Benet Ramsey. And you can watch for yourself how I go back and forth, and that's Jean-Benet, and Katy Perry. And I even found some smoking gun birthmarks that are irrefutable that it's her in the same eye. And basically the point is that all these people on the TV, the fake astronauts, the celebrities, the musicians, all they are is mind control agents. They're not actors. They're not musicians. They're literally people put in place to control your mind into making you believe that you are someone that evolved from a chimp and are here on accident, and that you live in this godless, accidental Big Bang place for the sole purpose of not getting you to have a relationship with the Heavenly Father. The biggest reason. And to worship them instead of God. That's what they're there for. They're mind control agents to control your mind. So you look to them as people to worship instead of God. And maybe once you see that they're all snakes and that they're lying to you, if you're someone that doesn't believe in spirituality and God and the Heavenly Father, well, maybe once you see that they're not who they say, you'll change your mind.
I just feel like this entire event is suspect. I didn't even watch the whole thing. Imagine if they did the moon landing nowadays. That would get dissected so hard. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What's going on with that insignia, Baphomet?
NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. That's why they have the snake tongue in their logo. NASA stands for not a space agency. Now, the devil-worshipping elites need to disclose the truth in plain sight as a part of their religion. You guys remember watching Elmo as a kid?
Surely this is the right spot. Look at this. This area is filled with books about pretend people.
That's right, Grover. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Fiction means it's a made-up story.
The truth has always been put in your face, and you guys have literally been believe their lies and not actually seek the truth yourselves. This is the man who discovered NASA, and he has a Bible quote on his tombstone. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament show us his handiwork. So this quote on his tombstone directly contradicts space. Space might be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Just like the Illuminati card game try to tell you, this is all fake CGI. Imagine seeing this and believing this is real. Literally, all of our wisest ancestors tried to tell you about the firmament in the flat, stationary earth. Make no mistake about it, guys. We live under God's dome, or the firmament. The truth has always been right in your face, but the eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
I wonder when they're going to show us them going back to the moon. That would be something interesting to watch nowadays, wouldn't it?
Ancient Egyptians didn't say, I love you. They said, Ibi or em iwewek neferu ara peri. Genem awi hok sa ank. Nedem wi amatek ar senbet I. Semen I tu em iwanan I biyak nek. Ancient Egyptians didn't say, I love you. They said, Ibi or em iwewek neferu ara peri. Genem awi hok sa ank. Nedem wi amatek ar senbet I. Semen I tu em iwanan I biyak nek. Ancient Egyptians didn't say.
How do you get all that from an owl? And what?
Say, I love you. They said, Ibi or em iwewek.
Nowadays we just say, what's up? Hey. Keep it pushing. Oh man.
Why is no one talking about this fly spotted on the Mars rover? Watch this.
Monday.com.
Why is no one talking about this fly spotted on the Mars rover? Watch this. If Mars is a lifeless planet, how could a fly survive there? Others believe the rover never left Earth, and what we're seeing is a massive cover-up filmed in remote deserts to fake interplanetary exploration. So you are probably wondering, why is no one talking about this fly spotted?
I can see them defending it right now. What? There's a fly there? Oh, there's a new species on Mars.
By making them revolve, it means that he can make them do the walking for you. And he's been able to pack into this single 5-foot cylinder, for example, cupboard space, a dishwasher, microwave oven, more cupboard space, an enormous double refrigerator, which you could sublet if you wanted, and this double cooker. And so, if you happen to be over here with one hand in the bread sauce, for example, everything's still just where you want it. You can get extra stuff out of the refrigerator. And if you want to get rid of your dirty dishes, you just give it a push, and round comes this super dishwasher, without having to move at all away from these hot plates. Storage units. These automatic plastic dispensers contain everything from sugar to split peas. But this storage unit contains a very special kind of storage. Information storage. Because this kitchen has the very latest in Keep Up with the Joneses style status symbols. A domestic computer terminal. It's not connected to £500,000 worth of computer in the basement, of course, but to a centralized computer bureau. By making them revolve, it means that they...
Keeping Up with the Joneses back in 1970. I never seen Keeping Up with the Joneses. Why do people say that?
Something mysterious happened in the Vatican during the opening of the holy doors. Watch this.
Something very frightening and strange is happening in the Vatican, for which there is no logical explanation. There recently the Pope opened the so-called holy doors, which are opened once in 25 years, and during their opening, something frightening began to happen. First, during the opening the Pope was startled by something. You just look how tense he is and his face is scared, and then all the people who were there were scared because after the opening, there were cries of a baby. But how is that possible if there were no people in the audience, let alone children? Many believe that these sounds come from the underground library of the Vatican. The length of this library is a record 85 kilometers. But there is a theory that these archives are stored not only literature, and contained there is a fallen angel that the Vatican hides in this giant library, and allegedly it is this angel emits baby cries, and it is in this library supposedly stored the Stargate found in Uzbekistan.
Just what is the Vatican hiding about it? Because
they're hiding a whole fallen angel in the Vatican. That's a new one.
Near Lake Titicaca, Peru, Aramumuru, found in 1996, is a 7-meter gate carved into Hayumaka Mountain. Uniquely precise, locals call it a spirit portal. Did priest Aramumuru vanish through it? Erosion shapes it, yet its enigma endures, linking us to ancient worlds. Near Lake Titicaca, Peru,
it did look like there was a Stargate impression on it.
What if I tell you that the ancient Indians had found a way to voluntarily complete the biological evolution of a human being? They developed a very powerful and effective system known as the Kundalini Yoga, which can turn an ordinary human into a superhuman. The ancient sages mapped the human body and discovered the wonders of chakras and Kundalini energy. This energy is stored at the base of the spine of every human being. So, they devised methods to awaken it from sleep. Once awakened, it wreaks havoc if the practitioner is not sufficiently prepared. Therefore, it is advisable to practice this yoga with adequate preparations. After the Kundalini Shakti is awakened, the task of the practitioner is to guide this energy to his brain and voluntarily complete his evolution. In this process, the practitioner gets many superhuman and extraordinary capabilities. What if I tell you that the ancient Indians...
How disturbing. I remember when everyone first started doing yoga, I heard yoga was bad. Is this the reason why? Alright, it looks like we have a volcano UFO. Let's see this. I thought something was going to come out of the volcano, but it looks like it was hovering over it.
In 1930, the Indiana Bell building was rotated 90 degrees with workers still inside. Because why stop work just for moving the building? Efficiency or insanity? In 1930, the Indiana Bell building was rotated 90 degrees with workers still inside. Because why stop work just for moving the building? Efficiency or insanity?
Why? Why would you need a moving building, though? I'm trying to understand the logic behind it. What's the purpose of that? All right, we have a small white sphere. What's going on here?
In 1930,
It's definitely not a bird not flapping or something. It's just hovering menacingly.
As soon as this metal plate touches the surface of water, it turns it into...
How mad we...
As soon as this metal plate touches the surface of water, it turns it into mist. Actually, it is called an ultrasonic atomizer, which has a special metal disc that vibrates at ultra-high frequency millions of times per second. And when it comes in contact with water, this vibration breaks the water molecules and turns it into a fine mist, which looks very beautiful. As soon as this metal plate touches the surface of water...
That's pretty cool. Could use that for like a haunted house effects. That's all we have for today's video. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop Wednesday Entertainment. Go ahead and drop Wednesday Entertainment. That lets me know you made it all the way through the video and you're a real one. And I just want to say thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you tomorrow.